Hello everyone, it's Theme Park Avenue. I'm Eric, back with another theme park battle. Today's matchup is Kings Island versus Canada's Wonderland. I was going to make a battle between Kings Island and Kings Dominion, but YouTuber Zach Guest suggested I do this matchup instead. And I thought, because both of these have won previous park battles on my channel, I would do this matchup. I should also note the rules that really go with this. Each individual category can earn 1 point for the park. If they tie, they both earn a point. And each individual category is based on my personal opinions and some research that I've done. Anyway, let's find out who wins this park battle. Beginning the roller coaster battles is the two inverted coasters in the park. We have Banshee, the B&M invert, and Flight Deck, the Vekoma SLC. I personally think Flight Deck is the worst roller coaster in the world, and Banshee is my personal favorite B&M invert for its unique layout, smoothness, and excellent inversions and intensity. So this point definitely goes to Kings Island. Next up we have the Boomerangs, Invertigo at Kings Island and the Bat at Canada's Wonderland. I personally really enjoyed the Bat. Some people think it's really rough, but I had a smooth ride and thought it was pretty good. That said, I think the Invertigo model is just better than the sit-down model. It's more intense, more fun. Kings Island gets the second point. Toning down the thrills a little, we have the Mine Trains, Thunder Run at Canada's Wonderland versus Adventure Express. Even though Thunder Run does go through the big mountain at Canada's Wonderland, Adventure Express has more ride theming overall, and is a bit more thrilling as a roller coaster, so it will give Kings Island a third point. Next up we have Backlot Stunt Coasters. Both of these parks have a fun, thrilling family launch coaster with plenty of nice theming. However, Kings Island's version is a little different, where you stop the ride and watch a helicopter spin and some actual flames come out. There's a little more theming, and while the rides are exactly the same in their layout, and I kind of want to give both a point, this theming does give Kings Island the edge. Now for the Aero Suspended Coasters, the Bat versus Vortex. Some people may say the Bat is better, but I think the Vortex ride, because it is a little taller, faster, and has a little more intensity to it, I think it wins. I also do prefer its first drop. Canada's Wonderland is now on the board. We have some family wooden coasters. Woodstock Express and Ghoster Coaster are pretty much the same ride, but I've been on both of them, and I thought Ghoster Coaster was much smoother, so I do think it earns a point for Canada's Wonderland. Now for large wooden coasters. This is interesting as some people really hate the Beast. Some people really hate Mighty Canadian Minebuster, but I like both rides a lot. I thought Minebuster was smooth, pretty enjoyable, a few good moments of airtime, but mostly just a decent wooden coaster. I really think the Beast is one of the best coasters I've been on from a wooden standpoint though. The length is really great, there's a lot of good elements, airtime, and a very enjoyable long terrain coaster with plenty to enjoy. So I think Beast definitely does beat Canada's Wonderland in this round. Now for the two family inverts, both of these are by Vekoma as well, and Flying Gaze Aerial Chase actually gets a little bit of hate for being kind of rough. It's probably the restraints. That is a big issue on a lot of these kind of rides. For example, I really don't like Legoland's SFC ride because it's kind of rough. That said, Silver Streak I thought was very smooth and enjoyable. It's most likely because of the different type of lap bar, but Canada's Wonderland gets the point. Now for two more wooden coasters. The Racer at Kings Island versus Wild Beast at Canada's Wonderland. I honestly could have had Mystic Timbers in this matchup, but we all know who would have won that one. Even so, Racer is much smoother and more enjoyable than Wild Beast in pretty much every fashion. Now for two very different indoor coasters. We have the Launch Coaster with many inversions, Flight of Fear, and Wonder Mountain's Guardian, the shooting ride. I really enjoy Wonder Mountain's Guardian, think the theming is great and is a really fun roller coaster. There's not a whole lot of roller coaster elements to it, of course, but I enjoy it. That said, I prefer Thrill to theming almost every time, and Flight of Fear is a very good launch coaster. So Kings Island earns this point. Next matchup is Kiddie Coasters. Great Pumpkin Coaster and Taxi Jam are both fun, sparsely themed kiddie coasters that are very similar. I don't think either one is really better than the other, so I will give both parks a point. Next up we have the B&M Hypercoasters, Diamondback and Behemoth. These are both fantastic rides. Both definitely in my top 20 roller coasters. I like them both a lot. Behemoth's first drop always gets me, and it's really intense and enjoyable. But I think Diamondback has the better layout. I've always enjoyed Diamondback more. It's my favorite B&M hyper, so I do think Diamondback deserves the points, giving Kings Island an even more commanding lead. And our final coaster matchup, the one you've all been waiting for, Orion versus Leviathan. Some of you will most likely not agree with my thoughts, but I think Leviathan is definitely the better ride. Orion definitely has its good moments of airtime and some interesting elements, but the layout in Leviathan, while maybe not as original, definitely has much better elements that have more fours, pack a better punch, clearly better airtime, and even though the layout is a lot shorter, well, by a lot shorter I mean a few seconds, the ride feels a lot longer because there's way more to enjoy on it. So I'm definitely giving Leviathan the final points here. It seems like Kings Island has a pretty commanding lead, but extra coasters will be changing that. Kings Island only has one other roller coaster that was not in a battle, and that is Mystic Timbers. I could have included Vortex, but because that is now closed, I thought that would be a little unfair. Canada's Wonderland has 4 extra roller coasters. These are Yukon Striker, The Fly, Dragonfire, and Time Warp. You could debate whether Time Warp even deserves a point, but I will be giving it a point because it is there. And I didn't use it in a matchup, which would have easily given Kings Island a point. But that means Kings Island is now only up by 1 point. Moving away from roller coasters, we have drop towers. Kings Island is much taller and faster, so it will be earning the point. Now for flat rides. Kings Island has Delirium and a Windseeker, so it will earn 2 points. Canada's Wonderland has many flat rides, though. Riptide, Cyclone, Lumberjack, Skyhawk, Windseeker, and Soaring Timbers all count for this battle, giving Kings Island an unfortunate losing position, because Canada's Wonderland now has 6 more points. Now for a dark ride battle. Both parks have a Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. However, Kings Island's is much better themed, looks a lot better, and feels a lot less sorry and run down, honestly, giving it the point. Now for water rides. I am not comparing these on quality, I'm just seeing how many they have, and they each get a point for which ones they have. And both parks have a shoot-the-chute kind of ride and also a river rapids ride, so they each get 2 more points. Now for other rides, to see which park has more non-roller coasters. This includes thrill rides, water rides, dark rides. However, I cannot really compare the others based on quality because the numbers are so different and there's so many different rides, and I've not been on nearly all of them. So I'm comparing based on which has more. And Canada's Wonderland has more than twice as many rides as Kings Island, so it earns the points. Now for shows, a really tough one to do research on, because currently it doesn't show on their websites which shows will be in 2021, so I really can't find out which one is better shows. I have not seen any of their shows, so I will give both parks a point. Now for food. I actually disagree with a lot of people who think Canada's Wonderland food is not very good. I like Pizza. I think a lot of their foods are actually really tasty. The theme park ones they give, traditional things like pretzel and hot dog, some of the places are really good. But there's little denial that Kings Island's Grater's Ice Cream alone can win this category. It's one of the most iconic theme park food items out there, and I think Kings Island does deserve the points. So it is only behind by 1 now. Now for theming, I think both parks do a really good job, even better than most Cedar Fair ones, honestly. Eiffel Tower and Wonder Mountain are great centerpieces. However, I think Kings Island overall for its terrain and landscaping does edge out Canada's Wonderland. But both are very good in this category. We are now tied. Now for park layouts and how easy it is to get from coaster to coaster. They have similar layouts where some of the rides are kind of in different sections, but I think when you look at the maps, you can see there are a lot more little side paths that work as shortcuts to get to different rides at Canada's Wonderland. And the ride entrances are a little easier to find. I actually do remember struggling to find Diamondback, but I never had any issues in Canada's Wonderland. So I will be giving Canada's Wonderland the point, but both parks are very good in this category. Now for operating season, excluding coronavirus 2020 stuff. Normally both parks have a spring to fall with Winterfest operating season, so they will both earn a point. Next up we have prices. It's hard to find prices right now due to the closures, but on my previous videos, the tallies are Kings Island's $45 and Canada's Wonderland is $50. So the point goes to Kings Island. Now we have a tie, 21 all. Operations is the final category, and I am giving the final point to Kings Island. For its incredibly good operations, where many rides run plenty of trains, the Beast has incredible operations for what it is, And Canada's Wonderland has a few Vekoma rides that kinda hold it back, like the boomerangs and flight deck. And that means Kings Island wins by 1 point. If not for Canada's Wonderland's many flat rides and extra coasters, this would not have been a very close battle. I personally do think Kings Island is the better park overall, and I'm very glad this was a close battle because both parks are really great. But that said, Kings Island is our winner. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this park battle. Please comment down below any other suggestions for battles you have, and like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe so you know when my next videos come out. I'll see you next time.